gentlemen, welcome to another fragrance review on my channel. This is not just any other fragrance review. This is from the classic house of Guerlain. And boy, Guerlain, guys, if you are a frag head, you guys know our rich history in our hobby in perfumery and in fragrances starts here. This is where the nose started, boys, is from the house of Guerlain. Now, Guerlain, of course, a rich family history in this fragrance house. They are built on classics. In the women's section, of course, Shalimar, Yiki, Vol de Nuit, L'Art Bleu, and in the men's section, Vetiver, and of course, Habit Rouge, Derby. Man, the list goes on. And now we're going into the new school of Guerlain. This guy right here, Tonka Imperiale. I really think this is the start of the new Guerlain. Of course, they got recently purchased by Louis Vuitton by NSC, and it's about time they start going back to their roots. And with Tonka Imperiale, they sure did, guys. Now, when I first started my fragrance journey, I would say, started collecting and really getting into this fragrance thing. I would say late 90s, early 2000s when I really started. I really appreciated the house of Guerlain. I knew about their history, I did the research, but none of their fragrances really piqued my interest, guys. I owned a few of their fragrances, but in the men's section, there just wasn't anything really modern or anything that really got me going until L'Art et la Matière came out and I saw Tonka Imperiale, or I smelt Tonka Imperiale for the first time, and I was like, this is what Guerlain is all about, guys. I'm going on the limb here, and this is going to continue in the long line of classics in the Guerlain history. We're going to be talking about this one 50 years from now, saying this was an absolute gorgeous fragrance. Tonka Imperiale is amazing, guys. It's everything I want in a high-end luxury fragrance. I want something that is going to be outstanding to my nose. It's going to challenge me every time I smell it. It's something that I want to wear all the time. I can wear it during the day, during the night. It has great production value as far as projection, longevity, and this one, guys, I'd be hard pressed not putting this in my top 5 for Guerlain's. It's that outstanding. It just renewed myself to the history of Guerlain and going back to them and start smelling out the house of Guerlain, their old classics to their new fragrances. So Tonka Imperiale is the one that really just got me going back into the house of Guerlain and really appreciate the art, not only the art, but the great fragrances that they have. So guys, let's get into Tonka Imperiale. Enough chit chat. Now this one, Tonka Imperiale, is the 7th release of the line L'Art et la Matière. Really a high-end Guerlain fragrance line. There's many others that they've been introducing or reintroducing to the line in the year 2000s, but L'Art et la Matière is the line that really I attach myself to. Of course, you see a couple more there, the Spiritueuse Double Vanille, Cuir Beluga, Iris Ganache behind me. There's a few more that I want to purchase. L'Art et la Matière is the one that I really felt like, wow, Guerlain went back to their roots with this one. Tonka bean and vanilla have always been staple notes in the classic Guerlain fragrances. It really felt like Wasser went back to the roots of the classic feminine Guerlain fragrances, namely Vol de Nuit, L'Art Bleu, and of course Yiki. Now from L'Art Bleu, he kind of took the nuttiness and the pastry-like scent from that fragrance, put it in Tonka Imperiale. From Vol de Nuit, he kind of took all those spices and the balminess of that fragrance, put it in Tonka Imperiale, and of course from the classic Yiki, he took the rosemary Tonka combo, and of course he put it in Tonka Imperiale. This was really Wasser's coming out party for Guerlain, saying, hey, I belong here and I can make classics just like you guys did in the past. And I really felt like when I smelled Tonka Imperiale, I said, Guerlain's back, baby. And I really feel like L'Art et la Matière was a line that Guerlain just came out and showed that they have some classic notes that they can put in their fragrances and make some new masterpieces. So let's get into the fragrance review of the classic, to my eyes, Tonka Imperiale. Now let's take a look at presentation for Tonka Imperiale, the bottle and the box. Now let's take a look at the box first. And as you can see, all Guerlain high-end fragrances will come in this packaging. The box here, Guerlain embossed, and their logo right here. Beautiful presentation. Let's flip in the back and then it will tell you all your information. It comes from L'Art et la Matière, Tonka Imperiale, EDP, all that information's in the bottom of the box here. Opening it up, this is going to be your presentation. The bottle's going to come right in here. This is your travel cap. You just zip it on. And the one sprayer is on the bottle, and then you got your bulb atomizer. One thing, just to let you guys know, if you are purchasing this fragrance, yeah, the bulb atomizer is really nice as far as presentation goes, but definitely the juice does evaporate from the bulb atomizer. So just a word of warning, especially if you are going to tip it over like this with the bulb, juice is going to come out of the bulb, so you're going to lose all your juice. Just FYI. Now let's take a look at the bottle. Of course, you got the Guerlain name on the bottle right here. You got your atomizer here. This one's actually a really good atomizer. You got your gold plaque with the name of the juice, Tonka Imperiale, with of course the Guerlain logo right here at the top. And you got a sticker at the bottom. I don't know if you guys can see that yet, right there, EDP. And that's about it. Actually really nice presentation. And the atomizer is amazing on this. Let's Waste the Spray. Really good scent cloud with that, and you only need a few sprays with this one. So let's get to the review of Tonka Imperiale. Now let's take a look at bottle sizes for Tonka Imperiale. Now the whole line of L'Art et la Matière comes in these standard bottle sizes. One size fits all. What you're seeing here is actually what you are going to receive. You're looking at 75 mils or 2.5 ounce of juice. Now pricing, your wallet better be thick because this is a high-end luxury item from the house of Guerlain. You're looking at pricing $250 to $275 American retail to purchase this stuff. There's not too many of these that you can find for a better price than that, to be honest. These are available at Guerlain boutiques or high-end retailers that, of course, have fragrances available. So getting a great deal on this fragrance, probably slim to none. They are kind of hard to find unless you have a Guerlain boutique near you. And your best bet is basically a split of this fragrance to get it at a great price. Now this comes in EDP concentration. It hit the shelves back in 2010. It won multiple awards on my channel, top 10, top 20. It first started in 2010 and made a top 10 niche winter list at number 10. And then the year after that, it made my fall niche top 20 in 2011 at number 5. That was its highest rating on my channel. In 2012, last year, it made my fall niche again, a top 20 at number 18. So it is one of my top 20 for fall. I absolutely love wearing this one in the fall, guys. Now, group, this is an oriental fragrance. We're also going to say it's kind of a gourmandish fragrance. Parfumier, the in-house parfumier for Guerlain, Thierry Wasser. He's actually the first in-house parfumier for Guerlain, which is not a Guerlain in his name. He has done very, very well for them. He's done an outstanding job, especially in the past few years. Now, recommended age for Tonka Imperiale, you're going to be looking at, this is a unisex fragrance. Men and women can wear it. Women wearing this is absolutely gorgeous, by the way. I would say 20 and up just because of the budget. And of course, as far as age range, I think 20 and up would be probably your best bet. Now, how many sprays to wear for Tonka Imperiale? You're looking at 1 on the chest for me, and then 2 on the neck, right on my pulse points right behind my ears. I'm set, I'm good to go with 3 sprays. Now, let's take a look at the note breakdown. Now, at the top, we got bergamot, bitter almond, and rosemary. In the mid, we got jasmine, tonka bean, which is what this fragrance is going to be. This is your main man in this fragrance, the tonka bean, and of course tobacco. And in the base we got pine, cedar, and incense. So let's get to sniffing. Let's sniff out Tonka Imperiale. Now, time to sniff out Tonka Imperiale. I'm going to dissect this fragrance. I'm going to let you guys know what this fragrance smells like from top to bottom. I'm going to do something a little different here. I'm actually going to dissect the main note in this fragrance, the tonka bean, or the main component in tonka bean, the coumarin. So if you actually own Tonka Imperiale, if you have a bottle or a sample, go get it right now, pause the video, come back to me. I'm going to blow your mind. I'm going to show you the different world of Tonka Imperiale. So let's get to it. Now, the tonka bean, or the main component, coumarin, what does that smell like in a fragrance? In Tonka Imperiale, it gives you a very vivid imagery of what tonka bean or coumarin smells like. It gives a fragrance a baked cherry-like vibe, cloves, vanilla, caramel, almost a sweet hay-like note, and almonds. This is probably your best rendition of this note that I've ever encountered in a fragrance. Coumarin has been used in desserts. It's also been used in tobacco and of course fragrances. This is by far the best rendition of that note that I've ever smelt in this fragrance. You will start smelling baked cherries in the introduction of this fragrance. You are going to smell the spices, the vanilla, the caramel, the hay, the almonds. Yes, you're going to smell it all in Tonka Imperiale. Why? Because it's such high quality. So now that I've just blown your mind, I'm sure I did, let's sniff out this juice. I'm going to remind me of this beautiful introduction. I love every single part of Tonka Imperiale. The introductions to die for. Let's smell it out. Now when you first smell Tonka Imperiale, many things come to mind. This is one of those fragrances that if you have a panel of 10 people and they're going to smell that introduction, this is a complex introduction, guys. A lot of people are going to have different types of images pop in their mind when they smell Tonka Imperiale. Some good, some bad. Some people are talking about baked goods. Some people are talking about cream. Either way, this is a great sign of a complex introduction when a lot of people have different opinions on this introduction of this fragrance. Now, to me, Tonka Imperiale, bar none, when I first smelt it, I was like, this is a masterpiece. It's going to make my best gourmands on the market today. I'd be really hard pressed not putting this #1 on my best gourmand list. It's that good. I'm also even hard pressed not to add this to Guerlain's storied history. Now there is a lot of great Guerlains out there that are classics. Chalimard is one of them. I'm thinking this is going to be added to the storied history of Guerlain. This is how I feel about this fragrance. It's a masterpiece. Now what do I smell in the introduction? Now what I smelled is that beautiful tonka bean. I can't miss it. It's coming out. That Coumarin is coming out, opening with a little bit of bitter almond, kind of giving this fragrance a little bit of nuttiness, enveloped with a warm, drizzled honey note in here. Very nice, very warming. There's a little bit of herbal rosemary coming in, but really the main factor in the introduction of Tonka Imperiale is that tonka. It shines. It gives you that baked cherry-like feel, sweet vanilla. Now the vanilla almost comes off boozy, guys. This is often compared to Spiritueuse du Blé Vanille, which also has like a boozy vanilla. This has it. It's kind of boozy. There's caramel in this introduction, hayed up, a little bit of hay in here, drying it up a little bit, with of course the almonds. The almonds are a major player in this one. Really creamy. It really brings you, this introduction brings you to the high-end Guerlains. It just, that sweet vanilla tonka feeling that you get in a lot of Guerlains, this brings you automatically to that classic note. This intro's smooth. It's creamy, buttery, sweet. But all these things are all right, and they're blended to a T. Quality bar none. This thing is absolutely great. This intro sometimes just brings me to a spiced baked good. A lot of people are going to say it smells like gingerbread or almond cookies or white chocolate, which they are correct. Then sometimes it kind of brings me to a simple cocoa butter with a little kick of Christmas spices. Either way, a great melange of notes. A great balance of sweet notes, spices, a small hint of powder here, warm notes, a pinch of citruses, and a high-end tonka note that just meshes everything together. It's a rich opening, but never overwhelming, and that's the one thing I love about Tonka Imperiale. It didn't go in overdrive in the sweetness, never did. It's almost restrained. It kind of kept you coming back to sniff some more, and it does that to the user and the people around you. Sometimes I'm wearing this and I'm like, where are you? And then you start lifting your arm and you're like, there you are. Or some people come by you and they're like, damn, I gotta come back and get another sniff of Tonka Imperiale. This is one of those fragrances. This intro is not only complex, it's high quality, it's blended masterfully, just a high-end and scent from Guerlain. I'm just speechless of this introduction. Let's get into the development of Tonka Imperiale. Now in the heart of Tonka Imperiale, not much changes here, guys. From, of course, the top notes. You lose that little pinch of citrus that you got in the introduction, yeah, of course, but you gain a lot more. You gain a nice tobacco note in here and a little bit of woods. Now the spicy tonka bean combo is your main player and always will be in Tonka Imperiale. It will continue on. The nutty almond kind of follows, and the dry yet mild tobacco joins the party. And just enough woods. I felt mostly pine and a little bit of cedar in here to kind of man it up just a little bit. The Tonka at this point amps up the vanilla sweetness. It was just like, okay, now it's your turn to shine. There's a caramel-like blend, and of course that roasted almond-like effect that almost gives this fragrance a chocolate-like richness. It felt like Tonka Imperiale never really had chocolate in the notes or cocoa, but it had that richness in the notes. And it really continues on to that sweet gourmandish vibe of Tonka Imperiale, and it feels like you never left the bakery, which will always also include those Christmas-like spices, the sweet vanilla, the honeyed sweetness. It was just pure genius, a great mesh of notes here. After several hours, Tonka Imperiale gets a small hint of smoke, which could be from the tobacco or the incense. Either way, I could really not detect it, and this is a lot of testing, guys. I couldn't really detect which kind of smoke it was because it was just so minimal, but it was a nice touch to finish this one out. Now in the base, the ending of Tonka Imperiale gets pretty simple, guys. It kind of gets stripped down a bit. There's a huge boatload of vanilla kind of pumping through, a bit of incense, tobacco, the gourmandish vibe kind of trekking slowly through the background, and then ending this fragrance. Guys, let's get to the overview of Tonka Imperiale. Welcome to the overview of Tonka Imperiale. If you haven't noticed already, Tonka Imperiale is my favorite Guerlain at the moment right now. I still have many to discover from the house, and actually a lot of them are highly loved by me. Guys, there's a lot back here that I absolutely adore, but there's only one Tonka Imperiale. Guys, this fragrance just blew me away from day one. It's edible, it's gourmandish, it's sweet, it's warm, it's comforting, well blended, and high quality notes. That's what I'm looking for. It showed me a great balance of being a gourmand without being too foodie. Think New Harlem, a little too sweet, a little too much, high octane. Not only that, but it's one of the best held back gourmands that I've ever smelt in my life. It's classy. When you talk about gourmandish fragrances, you're not talking about class, but this is as classy as a gourmand can get. I would have no shame wearing this one at a high-end event. Now, why would you hate this fragrance? Very much linear. If you don't really like what you're getting in the first few hours, you're probably not going to like the ending of this fragrance. The sweetness, it may be a little too much for you. And the pastry-like note. Gourmandish haters, this is probably not for you. Bottles, this is often compared to Spiritueuse du Bleveny, that of course that's right behind me. Givenchy's Pie has that vanilla almond-like ending. Pure Havane, 181 by Guerlain also, and Chergui. Best time to wear this fragrance? Wearing it on a date, yes. Dressed up, dressed down, can be your signature scent. Definitely, if you're paying this type of money, this can be just your high-end fragrance that you're just wearing from time to time, or you're just wearing it all the time. And basically a formal scent. I can wear this with a tux or, you know, a dress shirt like this. I'm ready to go. Very, very good fragrance. Best time to wear it. Compliment factor. This is another factor in this fragrance that is great. High. Compliment factor is through the roof. I don't know how many bottles of this stuff that I've sold, bearing the price of it, but definitely this fragrance gets those type of compliments like, I need to get this fragrance. My 2 cents, you guys have heard enough. This is a great example of why you pay the high prices. To get everything you want in a scent. Great longevity, good projection, just enough of it, a quality, high-end scent. And this goes to buy, try, or pass, guys. This fragrance, if you can get a sample or you can get into a split, if the price is too high for you, this is an absolute buy. This is something that you must have in your collection. This is one of the best in genre. So guys, hope you enjoyed my Tonka Imperiale fragrance review. Let's get into the rating system and see if this gets a perfect 10. Pretty sure.
All right, guys, let's rate Tonka Imperiale Projection 9 bottles out of 10. Actually, pretty solid scent cloud. When you think it's gone, people are going to sniff it on you and come closer. And this one doesn't choke people out. So it's one of those that's an inviting scent. Perfect projection. Longevity, 10 bottles out of 10. This one gives me everything I need. 8 to 10 plus hours any given wearing. Versatility, 7 bottles out of 10. It's actually a little more versatile than people say it is. I wear it quite a bit in the fall, winter, and spring and summer nights also. Overall smell, 10 bottles out of 10. Compliment factor is high. No problems here. Seasons, mostly fall. I love wearing this one in the fall, but you can also wear it in the winter, spring, and summer nights. Gourmand lovers, this is a must sniff for you. One of the best recent Guerlains. Quality all the way. Overall score, 10 bottles out of 10. Welcome to the Perfect 10 Club, Tonka Imperiale.